Hi guys, this is Daniel Trifu and
Lina Bryan.
from Trifu Dojo. We're here to introduce you to our first episode of Trifu Dojo's tutorials. So it's going to happen every week. So our students and the parents will know what's going on at the dojo, what we're going to work on. So here we go, episode 1 of Trifu Dojo. Ta-da! Okay, so this week we'll be working on just simple exercises since it's episode 1. So first one is we're going to go on, we're going to be working on squats. So normal squats, so down, all the way, and then up. So we have to do 10, right? So 10 of those. And next exercise number 2 will be lunges. But this time we're going to start from here. So knees actually touching the ground. And then we're just going to come up. So again, by count. So 8. And relax again. And sun. And relax. So this is basically, you have to do it one leg and the other. So that's again 10, 10, right? Okay, so next one. So this time we'll go into the push-up position. So this time we'll be working. I'm gonna go to the side. We're gonna go from here. You're gonna go down. So on count 1, you're gonna go forward. And then you're gonna be doing 1 push-up. Then back. And all the way up, stretching. On count 2, you're going to be going down. You'll be doing 2 push-ups. 1, 2, then again back. Okay, on count 3, 3 push-ups. Going forward, again, 3 push-ups. 1, 2, and 3, and back. And this all the way up to 10. Try to keep the push-ups, the quality of the push-ups, good quality. So make sure that the quality doesn't suffer, especially at the beginning. Okay. All right. So next one will be sidestepping. So we're going to be going from here to one side and the other. So this way, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. So it depends on the ability of the student. He can put down a little circle or a pad to do the jumps. Okay, for more advanced students, we can do the same thing, but this time we're going to go from fighting stance. So you're going to go side and side, side and side. And we're going to also be doing the other leg in front too. So side, 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 side. Last one, last exercise will be punches. So here, relax, and just going forward, and let go of the hands. Let go of the hands, let go of the hands, let go of the hands, and then you try to keep this for 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute, and last one. Sorry, it was one more. Sprinting on the spot. So in this case, you're gonna go on for 10 seconds really fast, and then 10 seconds you're gonna slow down. But you keep going. 10 seconds really fast. And 10 seconds slow down. And this will be done for 1 minute all up. And this is the conclusion of the exercises. Okay, so this week we'll be focusing on 3 kicks. Okay, 3 kicks. So first kick will be hizagiri. So from fighting stance, actually we'll be doing from fudodachi. This is harder to execute. Okay, so from here we're gonna go hizagiri, knee kick, jodan hizagiri, jodan mae hizagiri. Jodan mae hizagiri, jodan mae hizagiri, jodan mae hizagiri, jodan mae hizagiri. Okay, from here we'll be doing the same kick, hizagiri, but from fighting stance, the back leg. Hizagiri, 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 hizagiri. Then changing, and the other leg too. Hizagiri, hizagiri, hizagiri. So we're working on jodans coming up. Now, the Chudan Hizagiri, we're going to practice that in the next few weeks. It's going to come in forward. It's a bit of a different kick. You use your hip more and you strike forward. This is Jodan Hizagiri. Then we're going to be doing Hizagiri from fighting stance, but we switch. So switch legs, Hizagiri. And leg comes back and switch again. And Hizagiri. And again, switch again and Hizagiri. And switch again and Hizagiri. This is the first kick. Okay, second kick, mae kyage. Again, mae kyage. This time we'll be doing it again from fudodachi actually. my kage. So from here, then comes up, straight up and back, straight up and back, straight up and back, straight up and back. We try to avoid doing this. So try to lift, keep your hip up. Okay, then we're doing the same thing from fighting stance, back leg. So my kage and back, 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 and then change your legs. My kage and back, my kage and back, my kage and back, my kage and back. Then we'll be doing it from switching. So switch legs, my kage, back, switch legs, my kage, back, switch legs, my kage, back, switch legs, my kage and back. So this is the second kick. So again, Hizageri, Jordan, and my kage. My kage is Jordan. Now my kage is not really a kick you use in fighting. This will help you a lot for your stretching and your ability to kick higher, especially with the front attacks, but it's not really a fighting kick, so keep that in mind. Okay, now the next kick, Maegeri. So Maegeri, we're gonna be going for Chudan Maegeri. Okay, so again from here, Chudan Maegeri. Lift the leg up, and from here you attack, back, down. Leg up, attack, back, down. Now this time for Hizageri, I forgot to mention before, you kick with this part here. And you have to have your foot very close to you, and this bone will stick out and will create a really damaging path. That's what you want to hit your opponent with. Now with Maegeri, you take your toes back and you kick with this part here. It's called Chusoku. Know your toes, be careful, don't kick with your toes. So Chusoku, 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 Chusoku. And again, now watch again from the side. Lots of people kick like this. You have to get a hip involved. Hip involved. So watch my upper body going back, 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 back. Chudan. You try to aim for the solar plexus. There are two types of Chudan Maegeris. One is explosive one, and there's a push one. Now with the basics, what we want you guys to do, you lift the leg up, extend, then back again to this, and then down on the ground. Okay? And we do that again from fighting stance. So from fighting stance, the back. Now, repetition is the key. You have to do a lot of repetitions. People want to do it a few times. You got to do it for the whole week. These kicks are the kicks that we're going to be doing for the whole week. You got to practice hundreds, thousands of them. Then you might get good, right? Okay, so let's go. From here, back leg. Maegeri and back. Control where the leg is going. Maegeri and back. Maegeri and back. Maegeri and back. And change legs. Maegeri and back. Maegeri and back. Maegeri and back. Maegeri and back. Okay, so now we do the same thing with the switch. Switch, Maegeri. Switch, Maegeri. Switch, Maegeri. Now another thing we want to do in this case with the Maegeri, especially for today, you have to do it from a stance, and you got to kick with the front leg Maegeri. And you try to do it really sneaky so you don't see it, your opponent doesn't see it. If you want to be good at fighting, you have to make things harder for yourself. So you might want to do the Maegeri front leg, but from a wider stance, almost like a Zenku Sudachi. And you try to kick from here. Try to kick from here. And again, it has to be fast. Wide speed, so your opponent has no chance to block it. The faster you are, then your opponent will have less time to react. But if you're slow, then your opponent will block it. So that's why we're working on speed. Also, it's a great exercise too in building your fast twitch muscles. And just for hell reason, it's actually a good thing to exercise, right? So make sure that even if you don't go in a competition, you always exercise for yourself, okay? Not for me, not for your instructor, for yourself, okay? So keep that in mind. So these are the 3 kicks we'll be doing this week. All right, so we're just gonna practice on how to block the low kick. So we're gonna do 2 things for the low kick. One of them is when I kick, he's just blocking. Lift the leg up, 1, then the other side, 1, okay? And again, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1. Okay, that's one drill, okay? The next drill, we are attacking the leg, he takes it back. So instead of being there, take it back, and now it's his turn, I'll take it back. Takes it back, and I'll take it back. So you can actually go all the way, and then put the foot down, or you can go, you know, just here and retrieve it, okay? But for this drill, let's take it forward. So you kick, take it back, and now counter attack, he kicks me as well, bang, and then back. All right, so now he attacks. So now he goes in, bang, he leaves the leg there, boom. So it depends on what your opponent gives you when it comes to combat. For example, if he kicks and he takes it back all the way, then I have no shot, okay? So that's what you have to take in consideration. But also, the advantage of this, he can go forward, and then he can keep punching and kicking, and keep coming at me, right? So that's why you choose when you're fighting either to take the leg back or leave it there. So this is one of the drills we're doing. Get down, Mawashi, get it. Two options. One is to block, and one is to retrieve the leg. Okay? So when you retrieve the leg, make sure that you retrieve with the stance, with the proper stance. So leg is coming, kick is coming, and you have the proper stance. You don't retrieve and you're open, for example, like this, and then you're like that, and you square on, right? So always make sure we have one side in front, the other side in front, and we're always mindful of defense. Defense is the most important thing when it comes to combat. Defense. You have no defense, you will get hurt. So you have to have good defense. Sometimes offense is good defense, but offense has to be really like you have to go non-stop. You have to give no gaps whatsoever for your opponent to hit you. Okay, host. Okay, so when it comes to combat, this fighting stance, we just talked about it earlier, but now we're looking at moving. So when moving, one of the good drills to move forward and move back and side to side. So moving forward, the front leg goes first, one, followed by the back leg. You're moving back, you're going 1, 2. So from the side looks like this. So 1, 2, 1, 2. This is safe. You still got your guard. You don't do any changes. The transition of going towards your opponent and moving away from your opponent. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 1, 2. Now to the side, we'll go from here, we'll go to the side. Now this, you don't want to cross your legs. So this leg moves first. 1, 2, and back. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So all four together, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Then direction, you can start left or right. You can go left first. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got all directions. We got forward direction, then we got back, then we got one side. Let's go this way first this time. Then we got back this way. So this is a safe way to travel when it comes to fighting. Okay. So from here you can put the combinations, you can put all the punches and kicks, but you have to have a basic. So this is one of the basic things. Sometimes you just stay this way, you fight, and you could be safer than trying all these crazy things that you think they're working, or you watch it in a YouTube video and you find out that they don't work. So this is one of the things. So, what's self-defense technique of the week? So we try to look at Kyokushin as a full program. So look, the truth is this: the best punchers in the world are boxers. You know, they're doing punching. That's what they do. So we cannot say that Kyokushin people can punch better than boxing people, but we do have knowledge of boxing because we have to find out what works out there. So we cannot teach you things that don't work. So for example, there are some katas and things like that look a bit flash. Be careful, they don't work for self-defense. It might work, people might think you're a bit crazy when you start doing these things, they might run away, but other than that, you're pretty much, you have to know what you're doing. So we're gonna work on the jab. So the jab is a punch that will catch you, especially Kyokushin person, someone that doesn't do face punches, they will leave the face right open. So when the punch is coming, so what we work on now, we try to work on moving the head, okay? So lots of people, when they throw the jab, they leave the head there, and then this is what happens, right? So what happens now, someone that has more knowledge of the boxing, they will throw the punch, and then what I need to focus on, I need to get my jab in before his, and of course I have to work on my speed and all the other things, timing and all that stuff, but also I have to make sure that my head is not where he expects my head to be. So when we do the exchange of punches, if he chooses to do the jab as well, then instead of just copying it and we both trading jabs, in this case I'll be moving my head to the side, just enough for him to miss. Okay, so this is the first technique. Then after that, of course, you can follow up with the rest of it. But if the first technique fails and you eat the jab, what they call eating the jab, then it's not a good feeling. And people that are not used to get hit in the face, they get more shocked than others. So this is the self-defense of the week now. You have to think of the jab. Now, if you don't know what's going on, someone's punching you, and you really don't know what's going on, another thing you can do, you just basically like, you put your heads onto your head, you wheel them to your head, and you close the gap here, and this is what you do, you just stay there. So of course you gotta worry about the hooks now, and the hooks is basically, with the hooks, we're gonna work on the hooks in a couple of weeks, but this is what you have to worry about when it comes to straight attacks. Just make sure you cover the center. You can't stay for too long. They'll find a gap and you'll be down. So this is what I want you to practice now. Practice when you're punching, you're throwing, to move your head. So this is a drill. From here, you're moving your head. But you don't move your head down, you move it to the side. Okay, so what you do, just to the side, and this is the drill. Boom. Again, from here, bang. Here, bang. And you have to drill like this. So what we can do, we can both miss it. For example, one of the drills you can do at the dojo, you can go in and we both miss it, right? 1, and it looks good as well. 2, right? 3, 4. Now when you drill this in the dojo, make sure that you don't go where you know the head is gonna go, because I know I can catch you, it's gonna move there, and now instead of going here, I'm gonna go there, right? Be careful, right? So make sure that you go in a straight line and try to get used to moving your head. So the target is not there, right? Even the body is turning and you throw the jab, right? This is self-defense of the week. Keep practicing. Every week we do something different. This week we choose boxing as our source of self-defense, which is one of the most useful forms of self-defense. Okay, awesome. So on the technical aspect of it, I'm going to work with the beginners on the first 5 steps of the first kata, Taikyo Kusuno-ichi. First 5 steps. So you have, this is like a map, the kata. So you have to know which way you're going, first of all. So we're gonna go the first kata. If you know the first kata, you'll be able to easily remember Taikyo Kusuno ni. So you got Taikyo Kusuno-ichi, Taikyo Kusuno ni, Taikyo Kusuno-san, Sobuki Taikyo Kusuno-ichi, Taikyo Kusuno ni, Taikyo Kusuno-san, and all these versions with Wura as well, and even Pinan Soro-ichi, if you know the first kata. But we have to start somewhere. Okay, so it's very overwhelming to do the whole 20 steps. So we're gonna focus for the beginners, people are just starting up, for the first 5 steps. Okay, so don't worry too much about the stances, okay? We're gonna find out which way we're going. So first of all, first step, we're going to the left side. So the left leg just slides. 1, okay? And this stance, and every time we're doing anything on Taikyo Kusuno-ichi, is the front arm that's doing the block or the attack. So remember, every time we change directions, there is a block. In this kata, it's Gerambarai. So that's number 1. So let's remember that one. First step, you slide your left leg and you're doing a Gerambarai. Second step, you're going with the right leg. So first was left leg, just turning. Next, second one is right leg, and you're sliding in and you're punching. Now the punch in this kata is Chudan Tsuki, or the full name is Seiken, because it's 2 knuckles, Chudan Oitsuki, because it's front arm. Okay? Oitsuki is front arm, Gyaku is back. So, Chudan Oitsuki. Now remember, it was left, right, and now that's the secret now. Next one is right. So there's no left, right, left, right. Right. So left, right. Number 3, right goes back. Across, and you have a Gerambarai again. Remember, because we're turning. Every time we're turning, we're doing a Gerambarai. So we have left, right, right, and now we have left. With left, we have Chudan Tsuki. Again, the stance is Sen Kutsudachi, all to this kata. Sen Kutsudachi, okay? And then number 5, okay? One more, just one more step. Today, this leg will slide in that direction. Okay, the front leg will slide towards the front. And when you're here, you're doing a Gerambarai, because we are turning, right? So every time we're turning, there's a Gerambarai. So once again, we're going left, right, right, left, left. We have to know the directions. We have to know what's left and what's right. Whatever you need to do. Sometimes you put a sock on the left leg, you even right left, you right right, but you have to know left and right. It's a very good skill to have for your life. You might come across a big sign saying, don't turn left, it's danger, or don't turn right, and then you must know. So this is something that you need to practice at home, at school. Be the guy that knows left and right, okay? Be that person. Don't be the one that doesn't know it. Okay? Awesome. Hi guys, now we're gonna go back inside the dojo and we're gonna work on some of the drills, some of the combat or fighting drills. Again, I recommend that everyone does fighting drills. You know, it's good to know. You don't have to fight. I don't want you actually to fight. I don't recommend you to fight. If you fight, you have a chance to lose. Just imagine if you never fight, you never lose. But if you fight 100 times, you might lose 1 or 2, which means that you got beat. So it's not a good idea to fight. Now, competitions are different. I'm talking about on the street. Okay, so be always mindful and be always considerate of others. Do not ever fight. That is what I think you should do. But we're going inside and we're going to learn some of the drills, some of the things that fighters do. They're very good for coordination, will help your body, and will make you understand more about martial arts, because martial arts has so much to teach you. And if you are just focusing on the concepts of combat, even though you might never be a fighter, it's a good idea to know what's going on. And you will have a much broader understanding of martial arts and a much better experience of martial arts, because some people train for a little bit and then it doesn't make sense to them and they stop training. They say, I've done martial arts. No, really, they haven't really done martial arts, because martial arts is something you do for your whole life. And if you're doing it for a month or 2 or 1 year or 2 and you say that you've done and you understood everything about martial arts, no, I'm still learning and I know just a little bit, just one little tiny bit, and I'm still curious to find out, and I always find out more and more about martial arts. That is what we're here to do, to provide you with the best martial arts experience, Lynn and I and the instructors of Trifu Dojo, and please trust the process. So we're gonna go inside and we're gonna talk to some of the guys, especially Sensei Hamid, which is one of our best fighters, and we're gonna do some drills that might interest you. But please practice always what you learn, because if you don't practice, you're gonna forget it. Okay, so it's not yours forever. You have to keep working on it to have it in your arsenal. Okay, so see you inside. The drill is this: you're attacking the front leg with your inside low kick. So you instead of blocking this time, you take the leg back. So take the leg back, and in this case, you're attacking Jodan or Chudan or Gedan. But you can attack the Gedan on the inside or the Gedan on the back. Okay, that's one drill. Okay. So the second drill, you're going back, you're attacking with the back leg. Low kick, get up. The same thing applies. So we go back again, 1, front leg, 1, Jodan, Chudan, and get up. Okay, so one more time. So attacking the front leg, bang, or bang, or bang, or the back one, bang. And then the other side, bang. And bang, and the low kick there or the inside. Okay, this is one drill. Okay,
inside, before touch the floor, other one, before touch the floor.
This is for more advanced students. The idea now is to get that punch in. So not many people expect that. When you do combinations, it's so you confuse your opponent. You don't do one, because one they block it, 2 they block it. When you do a combination, they worry, they're coming together, they're coming like a storm. Boom. And they don't know what to block. So again, one more time. So one Gedan, second Gedan, Hiza, and now after the Hiza comes back, Nikki comes back, the punch, sneak in. So let's do that in full speed. Ready? Okay, so that punch. And then of course, when you got the upper hand, you're gonna keep going with your techniques. You don't stop. Okay? So it's not, you don't stop and admire your good work. You keep going, okay? That's the idea, until you get in a full contact, until you get the full result, which is a knockout, right? So it's a knockdown competition, right? Okay.
So the point is, first of all, what you get on, you use the power of sitting is idea. So it's all power we go forward. The way we do his idea is to my opponent believe me 100%. I want to do his idea and try to defend his defenses. And anti-rigs. Punch. After punch, foot coming like this side, and here is open. Punch and roll on his idea. I do it faster.
Hi guys, we hope that you enjoyed our first episode of Trifu Dojo tutorials, and then we're always open to find find out new ways to train. It's a work in progress. The instructors I was 10 years ago, I'm no longer that instructor, or even last year, or so it's Sensei Lin. We always evolve, and that is martial arts. That's how the world works, always improving. So please drop us a line if you have any advice on what we can include in our programs and how we can make it exciting and more useful, because we really, at the end of the day, we want to teach you useful information, and don't waste your time, because time is the most precious thing, and we thank you for giving us your time, and we appreciate all your support. Us!
Us!